So the greatest battle right now among DC fans is this huge progress that is occurring from what Warner Siblings has accomplished for the recent years, and how James Firearm is currently assuming control over the DC establishment or the whole universe at that. Furthermore, is doing a total reboot of all the characters and a spick and span approach in any case. By basically quote-unquote marvelizing the DC universe with Superman, Batman, Aquaman, and numerous forthcoming characters to be revamped now at the point when it comes down to Aquaman the Lost Realm, including Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, and we should not disregard the most that is truly driving a great deal of show into this film, Amber Heard. In assuming that you're new and like this video to see future updates, presently we know that Chief James Wan has been affirming a ton of things about the behind-the-scenes show with Aquaman and all of the battles with Warner Siblings and Chief David Zaslav and various viewpoints about Amber Heard, and it just so happens Amber Heard's position against the kickback against the movie's circumstance of the most recent and last the DC film, as we probably are aware, it is essentially apparently, clear right now about where DC remains about where Amber Heard stands with the DC being a fan. And we should get into all of this. Well, we know one thing about James Wan is that we know that this person, whether you are an ally of him or not as a chief, he upholds Amber Heard. Completely okay now with Aquaman to the Lost Realm as of now making, obviously, show over at Warner Siblings. And for President David Zaslav, one significant improvement has to do with Amber Group and her response to all the backfire coming from fans. What was affirmed through Chief James Ju when he conveyed the accompanying about Amber Group's position on the backfire getting the opportunity to end the DCU as has been a remarkable encounter. However, I would be lying on the off chance that it didn't accompany any difficulties. Obviously you can't please everybody, except I know in the wake of talking with Amber about everything and what the fans thought, the pundits, and simply everything, she just let me know that she felt fans asserting that she plays this gigantic part simply have to quiet down and stay silent, and it was a seriously striking reaction that I wasn't anticipating from Amber. She has been through numerous things, and it's been extremely close to home, and I might want to work with her once more. Assuming I at any point get that opportunity later on, yet she feels the fans blowing up to the amount of a presence she has in this film. And I believe it's a piece crazy as well, and I concur with Amber in numerous ways, yet we never expected or even made her job as monstrous or huge. I generally prefer to call it a moderate job. However, better believe it, later talking with Amber about the pundits, she truly got extremely profound with me as a chief and somebody who truly gave her an open and adaptable time for what she was managing during the preliminary. She feels that there is this requirement for fans to simply stay calm and inquire everybody to not over-misrepresent to such an extent about how large of a job that she was or has in this movie as a chief. I truly needed to chop down her job, not really for different reasons, be that as it may. For story-driven reasons, not anything against her. It's simply that we needed to make this film a manly relationship, and not really a sentiment. This is a film for siblings, and it functions admirably in our front. I can affirm that Jason had his disparities on set with Amber numerous times, and it put us in a difficult spot. A piece we indeed even needed to move our dates around here. What's more, there on which scenes expected to get completed in studio, yet I'm pleased with how we have helped WB, and I'm most surely pleased to have given me a fair job in this last film of the DC universe before James dominates everything, and I'm really eager to see how that all turns out. So folks, let me simply say one thing regarding what James Wan is affirming here before I get to the large end. Now we can see that he is truly sort of a theological rationalist ideal for Amber crowd. And what she did against Johnny Plunge, what she has expressed before against the devotees of all things Warner Siblings, of everything DC, and so forth and so on. And it simply goes to show you that either James Wan is totally simply kneeling the Amber, or Warner Siblings is advising him to make himself seem to be an ally of her. Now we know that numerous D chiefs and authors out there have really approached that they support Amber crowd and that they're for her, and this is starting to come increasingly more of pattern that truly appears as though they're attempting to get her profession in the groove again. And it's not going to work at all of my book, at least. However, when you see Amber crowd at the point when you take a gander at how she is requesting fans to simply statement unquote shut up and stay close-lipped regarding OV misrepresenting and how enormous of a job that she appears to get particularly rankled over the reality that a great deal of fans are saying it's a huge job. Here you have James Wan saying that it's anything but a huge job, that it's a moderate job. Best case scenario, and that he watered down her job, as did Warner siblings, not so much for different reasons like he said previously, however for story-driven reasons, and he generally utilizes that term manly relationship, which I believe is somewhat peculiar, particularly for a comic book film. That is only my position on things. It's simply a little strange that he generally likes to utilize that word sentiment. Now this is where things get intriguing. We should get into all of this now. He happens to finish up. I'm simply starting to chip away at Chulu right now before I wrap up advancing the Lost Realm. However, yes, Amber is recently worn out and disappointed with all the commotion, and that this is about, I can say, this moment, and she is simply riding the wave as it appears to see where her future leads. Her disparities with the DC fandom is something of battle without a out yet. I think we found the right equilibrium to make things fair for everybody coming into this film, and how David believed that us should manage this spin-off that has been exceptionally expected from Aquaman fans through out recent years. I don't know whether Aquaman fans, essentially not to mention DC fans, were expected for this film to start with, given that we as a whole knew that Amber Heard planned to play a part in this film in the interior. You have numerous other entertainers out there that have gone through comparable situations that got terminated for far less reasons. Mind you, check out at what they did with Ezra Mill Operator in The Glimmer. Look at what they did here with Amber Crowd and Aquaman. It is by all accounts a Warner siblings issue, a David Zassa issue of tossing in these entertainers that have done horrible things, and they toss them in for business purposes, since they know that they can't bear to drop these motion pictures since it's all they truly got. So we definitely realize that this film is a significant hit on Warner siblings. It's truly not a great sign for the progress for James Weapon and his DC Universe reboot. So to talk, you realize you will have a part of relaxed spreads out that aren't right there truly going to know the distinction per se between the DCU and the DC Universe by James Weapon. It will be intriguing to see what that change will resemble. Like I said previously, Weapon needs to mirrorize the DC Universe. Okay, we sort of got that a tad bit with his, generally speaking, inventive request for Blue Insect to sort of make it like an Insect Man-esque style film. So generally speaking, I might truly want to hear what all of you need to say regarding Amber Crowd and how she is getting extremely cautious, and how James W. had the option to affirm all of this to the overall population. And on the off chance that you folks partook in the substance, for now try to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.